Hello, my name is Amos Tarfa, and I'm the director of the Life STEM Academy, which is a branch of the Learning Institute for Excellence. In this video, I want to talk about the concept of debt-free college, which we'll be discussing in more detail at a seminar at our location in Moorhead, Minnesota. If you're available this Saturday, June 11th, feel free to join us. I will give some tips now, and then I'll make a series that covers the topic. There's a gentleman by the name of Anthony O'Neill that has written a book called Debt-Free Degree, and I think that could be a good resource for families. What I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to present more detail into each of the stages, right? No matter what stage you're in, there are opportunities for you to plan something to help your children graduate debt-free from college. There's actually no reason, and I repeat, there is no reason why your undergraduate degree should cripple you with debt. Now, if you already are in that situation, I'm sorry about your situation. I'm not undermining it. But I'm speaking now to people who are still in the K-12 system and saying there are ways to graduate debt-free. Now, some of these strategies, such as, why am I going to college? What is the big picture? What is the, can I afford this? Should I go to a $50,000 college versus a $12,000 college? Some of these things are things you have to work out. And if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you do not have to graduate with debt for your undergraduate, okay? I'm not speaking to medical school and so on. Some of those are a different story. But for undergraduate, there are ways to get through it. And I'm going to tell you one quick strategy now that might blow your mind. Here we go. In the American system, we currently have, right, K-12. And in this system, we have 3 months off, June, July, August. Imagine if you changed your mindset about what the purpose of education like, what's the point? Imagine if education was about learning to flourish using the mind that God has given you. Imagine if you're learning history, not because you have to get a grade or a diploma, but you're learning history because you're a human being who wants to learn from the mistakes of other human beings who have lived, and you want to learn about history as it applies to why we are where we are today. Imagine if you change your mindset about science and study it in terms of the world that God created. Imagine if you study mathematics because it's a beautiful description of science. We could go on and on. But imagine if you change your mindset of thinking of school as content-driven. Oh, I go to school to get content. My friends, content is cheap. Content is all over. You can go to Google, you can go to the library, you can go on Wikipedia. Content is cheap. That's not what makes you stand out these days. Can you make sense of the content? Now we're talking, right? So forget about content being the king for why you go to school, and instead think of school as an opportunity to help you develop your faculties to be a blessing to the world. If you have that mindset, now bring that mindset to the game, and let's talk about this. So what are you doing with 13 summers from kindergarten to 12th grade? Now, some people would say, Amos, leave our children alone, let them play. Well, here's the thing. Why don't we say that about basketball and other things? Why don't we tell people, well, why are you signing up for a summer basketball camp? Let your children just rest. We need to check our priorities. That's a big problem in America. We need to check our priorities. Now, I play basketball, tennis, and soccer, so I am an athlete. They're not mutually exclusive. Yes, we should play sports and enjoy the opportunity to use the skills God has blessed us with. I also play ping pong, and that counts for those of you who think ping pong is not a sport. It is. But anyways, so I do play those sports, but at the same time, I also love to learn. In the summer, what if you sectioned out an hour? Just an hour to an hour and a half. Now, what do I prefer? I would say more. But can we just take an hour of deliberate learning, of deliberate, intentional, focused time to learn things? If you did that, you have 13 summers, right? So you have 39 months of learning. Now, here's what you might not realize. 9 times 13 is 117, right? So 117. Let's call one school year 9 months. So you go from one school year to the next school year to the next school year and so on and so forth. You get the idea. So you have all these school years, 9 months each. But then you have these summers, right? Which, you know, you're looking at these summers and it's very interesting. If I took all my summers and I was intentional about them, there is no reason I shouldn't be going into college with 60 credits at least. There is actually no reason. Because by 6th grade, why is it not okay to be clepping world history, Western civilization, introduction to some other basic fields in the clep field, but why don't we clep starting in 7th grade? Because kids have time anyways, right? They're in 7th grade. Most of them they don't have a job. They're not in relationships, some of which these guys shouldn't be in anyways. But let's just leave it here for a second. We'll talk about relationships in another video. But before relationships come up, people should have vision. So that's free of charge. I'm going to tell you that for now. We'll talk more later. But the point is, when we talk about CLEP, why aren't they getting college credit right from middle school with their free time? Like this summer, you just say, you know what? I'm going to just CLEP U.S. history. I'm just going to CLEP Western civilization. I'm just going to CLEP pre-calc because I've used, the Learning Institute for Excellence math program. Our math program prepares kids as early as 4th grade to actually be in pre-algebra. And then by 7th, 8th grade, they can actually be in pre-calculus if they want. So the point is, you can be CLEPing. My friends, there's so many opportunities. And on Saturday, I'm going to go into more opportunities. But right now, here's what I want to say. What if we change our mindset about education? Number 2, what if we realize that summer can be fun? You can have fun learning opportunities that can help you then CLEP. Someone told me the other day that there's this kid, while the kid is doing dishes, he was like listening to lectures or lessons, and they went and CLEPed for that course, and they literally learned the content while doing dishes. I mean, that's very creative. There's so many opportunities. Don't box yourself into this idea of, I have to get to this point, and then I'm going to get student loans, and that's what it's going to be. No. You can start planning early. Now, if you're already at this point in the game, I will try and make specifics for your category, but I want parents to start thinking early. And that leads me to the last major point. Before a person considers college, they really need to ask themselves, what is the point? Why am I going to college? I mean, I made a video about Michael Faraday where I shared that Faraday never went to college, but there's over 20 things we teach today about Michael Faraday that, this is a guy who didn't go to college. The Queen of England gave him a place to live for the last set of years of his life. That's how big of a deal the guy was. And he never went to college. Nothing against college, but my point is, if you don't have vision, then college might not help you. It might actually hurt you. It might make your situation bad if you get crippling debt in a degree that you're not using and you don't know what to do with. You don't know what to do with it, right? So I want people to go to college or trade school or whatever, right? Find what your toolkit is and use it. But if you're going to go to college, make sure you know what you're doing and why you're doing it. Job shadow somebody. Talk to people. And please make the most of your summers, my friends. We have one life to live. Let's make the most of it. I'm going to end by showing you a stack of books here. These are books about, this one is about Michael Faraday mostly alone, but the other ones are about great men of science or the history of Western science and so on. But all of them talk about Faraday, right? All of them do. And we're talking about a guy who did not go to college. Why is this important? Because college can help supplement and help you, go into what you're supposed to do. But if you don't know what you're supposed to do, then the college piece can actually be very tricky. And again, it could delay you from the vision that you should have. So spend time thinking about that. Let me know if you have questions. I'm going to try and get courses out on careers and thinking about careers. But make sure you answer that question. Why am I doing what I'm doing? And what is the overall goal? What is my vision? What is the point? Spend time thinking and praying about those issues. And if you're done with high school, if you need to take a gap year, go for it. That's becoming a big recommendation from people. Take a gap year or gap semester if you need to, but don't waste your time playing around, not knowing why you're in college. Have a vision and direction. I hope this was helpful. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Feel free to subscribe to any of our courses if you would like to take our courses on pre-algebra or algebra, counting to calculus, any of the courses. I hope you would consider taking those with us. Have a blessed day, and thank you for watching.